Today on GameSocket, we're talking about Batman and his unrealistic expectations he set for young boys across the United States. And when we're talking about StarCraft 2 and the competitive scene in the United States. And then I have a special segment, Diamond in the Rough, a game that you may have never seen before. That's all today on the GameSocket. Let's do this.
Go!
Welcome to the GameSocket Show. My name is Brian Maupin. I am your guest host. This week, your regularly scheduled host is running a little bit late, Mike Graham. He's on his way. I think he should be here soon. But we wanted to get the show started on time, so we'll go ahead and get things rolling here, and he'll show up when he shows up. We've got a pretty good show for you this week. Probably second best, I think I would say, looking at our lineup so far. We're going to be talking about Billy Mitchell and his latest controversy with Twin Galaxies. I know that a lot of you guys on the Pac-Man forums and the Donkey Kong chat rooms have been talking about this a lot, so we're going to really dive deep in here and talk a lot about what's going on there. There's a new Avengers film coming out, kind of out of nowhere. There's a new Avengers film, and we're going to talk about maybe what's going to happen there, and hopefully maybe we'll get to see that soon. And so, and actually here he is now.
What's happening? What's going on?
Your GameSocket host. It's Mike Graham. We started the show.
What do you mean we started the show?
You were running late, so we went ahead and got started on time. That way,
the cameras are on?
The cameras are on. We're streaming live.
What happened to your face?
I got a little sunburnt at the bus stop earlier. It's a long story, but if you want to have a seat, we're just getting started just now. So,
like is the stream on? Did you turn the stream on? Like, is this like broadcasting right now?
The stream is on. Yeah, we're going.
You
good.
Started all of this up and started the show?
We got the camera on, we got the stream going, and we got the audio going. Everything's going.
What the hell are you doing?
I was just filling in for you since you weren't here.
Where did you go? What is wrong with your face?
I was waiting for the bus at the bus stop. They didn't have an awning over it like the normal ones, and I forgot that it was Sunday and they're not running. So I've sat there for like 45 minutes, and that's what happens when you are outside for 45 minutes in the sun without protection on. So
okay.
So, but yeah, we're just getting started.
So was that today? You were sunburned today? Because you were coming here.
Yeah, I was on the way here.
To sit down and do it and start the show without me.
Well,
but my bigger question here is, why are you here doing the show? Because I was doing this by myself this week. This is going to be a lone host show. I did not ask you to be here.
I didn't know. I just assumed because I've been on every episode so far that I'd be on this one too.
Why would you assume that? I don't ever assume to go to your house, even if I wanted to.
Well, you've never been there. I'm here every week.
Okay.
And even if I wasn't hosting, I'd still have to come here to set up and get the files because I edit.
Do you even know how to get this going over here?
Dominic did that. I don't know. You might want to double check it, but he seemed to know what he was doing there.
What are you doing, dude?
Oh,
Are you in the chat room right now talking to Brian? Is he chatting to you right now?
Okay. Are you Police Spot 44?
Yes, that is Dominic.
Okay, yeah, he is in chat. He's chatting.
Okay, so apparently I can't have you guys here without me at all. There's absolutely no direction. First off, Brian, for the future reference, all right? Thank you for getting the show going. We'll get into, I am running late, all right? So thank you.
I just figured we wanted to start the show on time since the viewers expect it to start at a certain time each week. So,
but they also expect it to start with the person they expect to see and not the person who can't deliver an intro without like tripping over his words and falling ass backwards into a pile of verbal garbage. So, I'm sorry, it's a little harsh, but this is my house. This is my show, and it irks me a little bit that I walk in on it completely running without me. And Dominic, what are you doing? Set your thing up, dude.
We do have a segment from Dominic this
I'm
week.
sorry, Dominic. I love you, dude. You know I love you. Yeah. Yes. All right. Okay. Let's just move on. I got some things I want to talk about. Where are we in the show? What part?
We're in the intro. We're just getting started at the beginning.
And you've rearranged the rest of the show as well. Okay.
Well, there was no outline, so I put one together.
Well, I put the outline in right before I start the show. Okay. So
you didn't share it to me.
So we're at the intro. Which intro?
The beginning, the first part of the show where...
Okay, no. The intro or the part after the intro where we start talking to each other. The part where I announce the show, or is it... Am I supposed to do today on GameSocket right now, or are we doing our housekeeping segment?
Don't do that to the end. So we are at the second part.
Okay.
The second one you said.
All right, okay. I don't feel good today. I feel terrible, actually. My wife was up until 3:30 in the morning last night. I'll just come straight out and say she was drinking, binge drinking all night. And, I hate to see it. And I never want her to go down that it's a dark road for her. And I never like to see her go down that dark road alone. So, I did join in with her last night, and I'm paying for it today, guys. I basically lost track of time. I was just laid in bed. I barely had enough energy to brush my teeth this morning. I probably wouldn't have if I didn't need to get that nasty taste out of my mouth. But
alcohol is a depressant, so that really, there's studies, there's stuff on it about how it can mess you up. So,
thank you.
You should probably.
I ask?
Just throw it all out. Just throw it all out,
dude. I didn't even. Okay, so I didn't ask for you. I'm telling.
I'm just trying to help.
So this is what is happening, dude? This is the part of the show where we tell what's going on in our lives so they can catch up with us.
You were telling me about a problem in your life, and I'm just trying to give you some advice.
You were being, frankly, a dick about it and trying to point out something I did wrong. Listen, okay, there's no problem with me drinking. I'm not a depressed person. I just don't feel good because I drank too much last night.
And if you didn't drink last night, then you'd feel fine today.
I don't like my wife dealing with her issues alone, so I join her, if I can help it.
So I'm just providing some... Okay. I'm not a doctor, but,
This is
find another outlet.
Okay.
Instead of drinking, try golf. Mario Tennis, something like that.
What's your deal today, dude? What are you doing?
Do you ever banter?
Okay. You're not bantering. Do you ever want to come back to this? Do you ever want to do GameSocket ever again? I will find a new editor.
I mean, one that
I will
work,
find a new producer.
One that will work for free. I'm sure you'll find.
You don't work for free. I gave you 5% of the show, dude.
Which is not worth anything yet.
Do we have to talk about this on the air again about your payments? Okay. I don't know what's going on today. Brian, you are being incredibly hostile. And we're live and embarrassing ourselves in front.
I did a favor. I started the show on time. I saw you weren't here. I took the initiative and said, let's start it up. Michael, get here soon. So
I almost appreciate it. But what I walked in on, okay, we just need to move past this, all right? All right, this part's over. Moving on. Brian, what's up with you?
Well, besides...
anything interesting? Sounds good. Good story, bro.
Besides the bus stop and the sunburn, kind of the same thing I've been talking about for weeks on Twitter. And
you always have a good bus stop story.
Well, that's my primary mode of transportation, and there's a lot of interesting people and things going on in that area. So, but I've continuing the roommate search. I've been looking for a roommate to share a space with me for, going on 2 months now. I haven't really brought it up on the show, but because I know we're a global show, and obviously my room is a very local thing. But if you're in the Kansas City area,
go for it, dude. Bring it up. This is the time to do whatever you want, apparently. So just go ahead and talk about your personal issues.
So I have an apartment. I'm looking for a roommate. You don't have to necessarily share rent. What I'm really looking for is someone that can help with transportation, since I don't have a driver's license or a car. Maybe someone that can help with utilities, but also just someone that can, fill space. Someone to hang out with. I like to watch movies. I play video games. I like Connects. I've got a lot of cool, the roller coaster sets. You can check those out, build your own, use my pieces. That's fine.
And you say alcohol is a depressant.
I'm not sure I follow. Yeah, it is.
Is it? Okay, continue.
So, I've had a couple of people come by, actually closer to 6 or 7 people at this point come by, and they're interested. It's a nice, it's an okay area of town. It's not a huge apartment, it's an older building, but, rent-free, just what you can help with food or utilities and transportation. And then, feel free to check out my movie library, my game library, the Connects, all that kind of stuff. I think it's a pretty good deal. It's in downtown area. So if you're interested, shoot me a tweet or DM me on Facebook.
All right, Brian. Sounds good. Actually, okay, so thank you, everyone. And I guess let me just apologize for this just ridiculous beginning to Game Socket this week. This is not the quality that you guys asked for or deserve. However, we do have an awesome show planned today. Brian, I am going to throw you a couple of bones here. I like a couple of the things that you did add into my already well laid out outline. It's fine that you moved a couple things around, but it does look pretty good. And we have an awesome show today. But first, I do want to talk about, I think, the elephant in the room.
Oh, the new desk, right.
That's right.
I saw this when I came in, and I was like, am I in the right place? Because it's totally different.
It's very nice, isn't it? So I spend a lot of time upgrading the studio. I don't have, I'm a stay-at-home dad. GameSocket is my job. And so, I do my job to the best of my abilities. And I come in every day and I peruse the area and I say, what can be better? And we've spent the last 2 or 3 months upgrading equipment so we can, continue to be pushing the boundaries of professionalism and expertise in the area of broadcast, both audio and video. But, man, our table, because you couldn't even call it a desk, it was just a table, was lackluster. I think you can agree with that.
Well, you're right, but I like that it folded up. That was cool. So you could move it out of the way.
Well,
are you still using that? Because if you don't want it, I can take it back to my place, and I could put a set on there. Like there's the twin looper now that I could throw on there. If you're not going to use it anymore, I don't know where it's at now.
Well, it's in the garage where you put your extra tables.
Yeah,
that's where they go.
I don't have a garage, so
yeah, no joke. Or car, or a friend.
So are you going to use the table or?
No, but listen, we're getting dragged into these things and we need to just move past them. So the desk, look at this thing. This thing is amazing. And the cool thing about this is I got one heck of a deal on it. And it provides, I think, a new great ambience to the show. It's a nice rosewood color. Now, it is a laminate and it's not a full actual wood piece, but let me tell you, it was heavy as all get out. But I do want to say a huge thank you to my dad, Mark Eldon Graham, for helping me. This is a 60-year-old man, well, almost 60 years old man, ladies and gentlemen, and 3 back surgeries. Basically has been told to never lift anything over 20 pounds. And this man came and picked me up from my house, drove me downtown in his brand new truck, and helped me carry this giant desk down 3 stories and put it in the back of his truck, then unload it back at my house. Also, I could get a great deal of just about next to free. So it really just cost us the labor. So thank you so much, Dad. I love you. Now, the other foot of that is my dad wouldn't have had to do that if, I guess, somebody that's a part of the Game Socket crew, or at least thinks that they're a part of the crew on a somewhat permanent basis, would have actually, answered a message that I'd sent to them and said, hey, we're going to be upgrading the studio and there's a new desk. It's super heavy. I don't have anybody to help carry it except for my dad, and he really shouldn't be lifting stuff like that. However, I got no replies, no show up, nothing.
I don't know that Dominic has a phone. Do you?
No, dude. No, I would never. No, I wouldn't ask Dominic to do that.
I thought you were saying that he stood you up.
Brian, I sent you like 5 messages. Listen, I don't want to spend this whole episode arguing, but dude, you got to think about things.
How did you send me a message? I did not get any messages from you on
If you feel just entitled enough to show up at my damn show and start it without me, then you can feel entitled to come freaking help me when we are upgrading the studio with a nice Rosewood laminate desktop! No. Sit down. Keep your headphones on. You're not just going to get up and walk out. I saw that. Brian. I'm sorry, I just yelled. And mostly I want to apologize to GameSocket fans. I don't even know what is going on today. I do. And just hear me out, please. I'm feeling really poorly today. I really did just drink way too much last night. My head is pounding, my stomach hurts, and frankly, I'm just in a really crappy mood. And so I came down here, from my bedroom to, find basically, not a stranger, but, there's a guy in my house running my show. And listen, Brian, you are, Dominic and I are building GameSocket to be an incredibly professional, well-oiled machine. And while we're not quite there yet, we need you to get there so that when I can find someone to come in and take us to the next level, that you're taking this the wrong way, okay? Don't wiggle in your chair like that, okay? Let's just move on. I feel terrible. I was up till 3:30 in the morning. I could countless whiskeys, okay? I've been on a whiskey thing recently. I don't even know what's going on with that, but and I just feel like crap, and I'm just in a bad mood. So if we can move forward, I would, and just do the show like normal. So we're good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, here we go with. Tell us what video game you played this week. What was it like, and how were the graphics? Tell us. Brian, what'd you got?
This week I played, it's a little bit of an older game, but I was able to get it used for pretty cheap, and I had missed it the first time it had come around. And that game is Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh, yeah.
This is the third Batman
that game.
So you've played it?
Yeah, I beat that one.
So this is the third Batman game in the series from Warner Brothers and Rocksteady. And it's not so much like everyone loves Batman because he's got superpowers. He can jump high, he can fly and do all that.
Well, he doesn't have superpowers, Brian. You know that, right?
Well, he's got a super suit or whatever. But what I like about Batman is kind of the things that surround him. It's, he's got Robin, who's like this really great best friend that is following him around everywhere and, helping him out. Robin's
a really good friend to Batman. And I think Batman is a really good friend to Robin. It's a good relationship.
They're really good friends. And, we would all be lucky to have a friend like that. Maybe someday.
They need to portray that in movies more often.
Yeah, I was really disappointed he was left out of all the more recent ones.
Me too.
So, but Batman's got Robin. He's got Alfred, who is like this really cool. He's basically like a roommate, who's, cooking dinner for him. He is, hanging out with him, giving him, advice on his problems. He's just really there for them. It's like another just awesome friend who lives in the mansion with him. And then, I
think the relationship's a little different than that. I don't think it's like a roommate.
Well, he's his butler, but he lives there. It's kind of like a roommate, not exactly, but I think it's kind of close.
They sleep. Okay. Yep.
And then, some people say this is a tragic thing, but I think it's actually a positive. Is that his parents died very early in his life, and it sucks that he has no parents. But you got to think of it the plus side. What if his mom was the type that smokes a pack a day and is just constantly blowing smoke all over the place and giving you asthma, or you've got a father who is can't stop vacuuming just all the time, home or away, vacuuming floors, and just weird parents like that. You don't know what draw he was going to get with his parents. Maybe they were terrible parents. So I don't know that it's such a bad thing that he has no parents. He grew up on his own. He raised himself.
Do you have any other opinions about the video game, Brian?
I think it's a great game. You get to drive the Batmobile in this one, which is something I can't drive in real life. I also can't drive in this game very well either. I'm running into stuff all the time, but it's still fun, just mowing into the walls and knocking other cars around. Graphic wise, I'd give it I think like probably a very good on the scale. Very good.
Very good for Arkham Knight, guys. All right, thank you, Brian, for that very telling recap of the game that you've been playing recently. Okay, so guys, I'm going to be talking this week. I have been playing StarCraft 2. And let me take one step back. Actually, I haven't been playing StarCraft 2, and I had an issue. I swear this time I sat down, I went to install the game. I was trying to open the zipper. And so I had I put my mouse like on the fly or whatever, and I was pulling it down, and I mean, I don't know, it didn't, I guess
Are you talking about a zip file?
Yeah, the zipper. So I guess I know exactly. So I mean, I right clicked it, and the zipper, I mean, it never opened. So
the game came in a zip file.
I mean, it was.
Was it? So how did you buy it? Was it did you buy it? Did it come on a disc, or did you download it off the internet, or?
Neither of those. Well, I just went and bought a computer.
And then you still got to get the game, though.
No, I mean, I did. I bought like I bought a video game computer.
Oh, okay, like a gaming laptop.
Yeah, I bought an Alienware laptop from Best Buy.
Okay.
Thank you, Mitchell. Excellent salesman. He hooked me up with the extended warranty. Mm-hmm. A couple of extra HDMI cables, and I mean, I got a heck of a deal on them too. These things were only it's like $60 for like 10 feet. It was awesome.
There's really no reason to use Best Buy. Like I've got beef with them, but Amazon, you can get everything actually way cheaper on Amazon than at Best Buy. But
I think you lose a little bit of life experience just ordering online. So I prefer Mitchell showing me around the store and giving me the real goods. Plus, they're more quality. The stuff that Best Buy orders is far more quality than things that you can get on Amazon.
It's the same.
Either way, so let's keep where we're at, Brian.
So you were trying to unzip it.
Yeah. Not sure what's wrong with it.
Yeah, you might take it back to
They do have a 30-day return policy there, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so what I did, guys, and I'm sorry about all this rambling here, but I couldn't figure it out. And I'm normally really good at that stuff, so it definitely something was wrong. I ended up having to go. I did find my way to YouTube very easily, like I always do. And what I did is I just went ahead and I just watched hours and hours, and because I really legitimately wanted to be prepared this week for this segment.
So can I ask why StarCraft? Because that's
StarCraft 2.
StarCraft 2, sorry. What made you want to jump into StarCraft 2 this late in the game?
Well, I really wanted to get caught up. I hear about it a lot. I do know that it's a huge, I figured I could play the game and join the professionals, or work my way, of course, practice and, maybe make some extra side money at some tournaments or whatever, Counter-Strike does it. It's the beauty of technology. So, yeah. StarCraft 2, here's what I think about it. First off, EA put this game out, which is
Blizzard.
Bad taste in my mouth right away. EA, the subsidiary Blizzard of EA, put it out. Either way, it was a pretty cool game. You could be like a human, or there's a dwarf setting. dwarf setting. And I thought what was really, really cool is, well, two things were really cool. One was you could be like a bad guy or a good guy. Like you could choose which path you were on,
Choose
like a
which side.
foe versus hero. So you're like a dwarf or human. The ladies wear like almost nothing, which is kind of messed up. Like they really need to stop doing that. But I'm not going to pretend like I'm not like 2 thumbs up. So guys, if you guys like StarCraft 2, comment and subscribe. If you guys agree with what Brian said about Arkham Knight, let us know. If you disagree, let us know too. We really love to hear your opinions. So send us an email, hit the thumbs down or the thumbs up. The thumbs up, please. But yeah, so guys, let us know what you think. So now we're going to be moving on. And this next one here is not something that was here when I wrote this yesterday, but it looks like something that Brian added in like we were talking about earlier. And, I'm actually starting to feel quite a bit better now, and I'm pretty excited about this because I don't know what this is. This is titled Brian's Diamond in the Rough. Brian, what's going on?
Thanks, Mike. This is a potential new segment I think we can do every week. Maybe this is kind of like the pilot episode of that.
Okay. No, this would be a pitch then. Are you pitching an idea right now in the middle of a show?
Well, yes. That's why
So
a pitch, a pilot, whatever.
Not a
same
pilot,
thing.
a pitch. Okay. All right. Go.
So this is a segment where I'll bring in a game that I think is a little underappreciated, kind of flew under the radar, that I think was, either inspiring or game-changing or kind of just overlooked. And this week, the game is...
Is this also something rare?
It could be, yeah. It could be
Like
a rare
maybe-
game that you don't find often.
Okay, so it's not something you would see at everyone's house.
Yeah, exactly. It's maybe a game that hasn't sold so well, but it was very good.
Okay.
So this week the game is this right here. It's actually it's not actually so much a game as it is sort of an encyclopedia or a CD-ROM. This is the Star Trek Companion, Star Trek: The Next Generation Companion, and it is a series guide and script library. Now, what this is it's a CD-ROM, and it's got for the first time, it's got a complete full-text library of original shooting scripts of every episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and it's all on one disc.
Wow!
So you can go in here and you can
The Next Gen,
The Next Generation, yeah. So this is back. This is a little bit older. I think this was released in the late '90s, early 2000s, back when Star Trek was actually good. But you can go in here and you can read the scripts of every episode. So if you ever, maybe you don't have the VHS tapes or the DVDs, you can
see
go
it
read
in the original. You can see it in the original words.
Yeah, you can read it. You can skip to whatever part you want. It's just like a text document.
Is it every episode that they ever made?
It is all 178
Can you imagine
episodes.
pulling up a text file and reading the first time that Jean-Luc Picard says "make it so"?
Yeah,
That's
I can't
cool,
imagine
man.
because I've done it. I've read. I'm halfway through the 3rd season. I'm reading all the scripts right now.
Can I borrow that when you're done?
Sure. Actually, I've printed them off, so I've printed off through the 5th season. So yeah, you're free to borrow this and use it.
Okay. Awesome.
The other thing that I really like about this is it's got video trailers for all the episodes. Yeah, so at the end of every episode, when this originally aired on TV, they put a sort of like next time on Star Trek sort of stinger on the end of it, where it would tell you about
like a next time on Star Trek.
Yeah, exactly like that. You sound just like the guy.
Yeah.
So it'll show you a reason to watch next week, and they've got all 178 episodes trailers on here. So
well, no, that can't be true.
it is.
No.
It's all.
No, that can't be. How would they
Why
have
is
the
that?
last one? There wouldn't be a last one. So they have 177.
You're right. They probably don't have the last one. Actually, no, they wouldn't have the first one because the last one would be aired the week before. So they wouldn't have the first episode's trailer because there was no episode before that.
But they wouldn't have the last one either, so it's 176. There wouldn't be one for after the last one.
Okay. You might be right. I'll double check that and I'll put a note
okay.
across the screen
Well,
that
that's
says
something we have to make sure we get down because we need to know how much time we're going to be putting into this.
right. So it has all of those. It's all on one CD, and I think that's super cool. You can just pop this in the CD drive and watch all of those. Dominic was saying, they have it on YouTube too now. You can go and find them, but you still have to search it out. You're still having to download the video from YouTube or stream it.
You don't own it. Yeah,
right, and you don't own it.
That's in your hand.
Right.
That's a piece of, dare I say, could be history. I mean, that's something, that's like a relic that you can save as a time capsule of something that was a magnificent moment in the 80s.
Yeah, and
early 90s.
Early 90s, too, yeah. So,
awesome.
This is my Diamond in the Rough this week. It's Star Trek The Next Generation Companion. It's not in print anymore, so you do have to kind of search out to find it, but check your local game stores, check your local libraries,
maybe eBay.
Thrift stores. eBay, if you want to deal with eBay and their PayPal stuff, I don't recommend them, but if you want to take a risk there, go for that. But this is it, and it's great.
Okay, guys, so now we got to talk about some news. So there's some things going on in the world of video games that is going to be just like, wow, blowing your mind. So here we go with the news.
All right, this week, the biggest news story, the only news story out there right now is Billy Mitchell and Twin Galaxies feuding. So I don't know if you've heard about this yourself, but
Billy Mitchell and Twin Galaxies are feuding.
Yeah, so there had been some accusations that Billy Mitchell's all of his high scores from Pac-Man Jr., Donkey Kong Jr., all of his scores on the high score charts may have been faked, and there's some video evidence that's been floating around of maybe he used a emulator to do it. And apparently it's now been enough for Twin Galaxies to remove all of his scores from the high scoreboard. So this has really kind of shocked the classic arcade game world, the competitive arcade gaming world.
What will we do?
Billy Mitchell has started his own, in a statement, he's saying that he is starting his own investigation on this. He wants to do an independent investigation.
How can you investigate yourself for cheating?
I'm not sure exactly.
Hi, guys. Nope, I didn't find anything.
Yeah.
Nothing there.
He claims it's an independent company that's going to be doing it, but, nevertheless, they've removed all of his scores. And
well, I mean, what do you think? Is the evidence there?
I've looked at it, and yeah, I mean, the video shows the levels load in a certain way on an actual arcade cabinet, and
then his load differently.
So
what if it was just? Was it every game was like that, or is it just the one game?
I'm not clear on that. I think as far as what I've seen so far, it's just one game.
These games are old. This could be just a weird circuit thing, or a code not firing correctly. I don't know.
It could be
a lot about that stuff.
I think maybe he could exonerate himself. If that's the case, then he just needs to grab the actual machine he used and show that to them and say, hey, here it is.
Let's take a game socket stand this week and not jump into the party that people seem to be subscribing to recently, which is guilty until proven innocent. This is America, and people are innocent until proven guilty. So I think we've seen some evidence. It may even tend to lead us to believe something, but until there's a definitive and final answer to this, I say, allegedly, he was caught cheating.
Yeah, I don't think this will go to the court of law, but as far as Twin Galaxies goes, they've passed judgment because they've removed all his scores at this point. So, and they've banned him from future scores.
But for a guy like that, that's first off. So this is, in my mind, a really big leap into just guilty until proven innocent. This is, and it's just like it's what the government wants to happen at this point. They want anybody to just go off to jail the second anybody accuses them of anything. They don't want to deal with it. It's going to cost them too much, and they're going to make too much money on the bodies in prison, as that is. I mean, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But I think he needs I think they need to put his high scores, my opinion, they need to put his high scores back up until a thorough investigation can be done where there is a definitive answer on whether or not he was absolutely 100% cheating. Because if they cannot prove this without a doubt, pulling this man's high scores down could be a life ruining for a guy like this. I mean, these nerds they're obsessed with these classic games. So I think we need to tread carefully with this one.
I hope that Twin Galaxies has done an investigation. They say that they have. They say that they've looked at the footage and they agree that the way they stated it was very careful. It was something along the lines of,
but they didn't examine they didn't examine the actual circuitry of the cabinet.
I don't know the answers to that. So, maybe there should be an appeals process. I don't know. But, that's the big story this week. It's still developing. We'll see what happens next week with it. But
okay. All right. So GameSocket fans, what I want to do here at the end of the news segment is I want to petition the fans to petition. I want you guys to put a petition together. And if you do agree with the things that Brian and I have said about the way that this man should be treated in this cheating case and given a proper due process, then I think you should put a petition together and let's get it signed. Whoever wants to get it going, get it going. Just make sure it crosses our desk so we can get our signatures on it too. And we'll get it out to these judges of people.
Yeah, and I guess the good news for Billy is he's still got the hot sauce business to keep him afloat.
Well, there's that.
All right. Well, next up, Dominic has another special segment for us this week.
This one looks bigger than last week.
He has taken it back a little bit and retooled it from last week. So we'll see what he's got this week. Dominic.
Hey, this is Dominic from Dragon Ball Z Studio F. Today I'm bringing you my game segment, Dom's Game Saves. Each week I'll be telling you about different games that I've really enjoyed throughout my life. And the first one I want to tell you about was Fievel Goes West. My favorite thing about Fievel Goes West was how easy it was. I had never played any games before. Each day when I'd get home from school, my mom would put me in my room and lock the door from the outside. And she would take the NES controller and hook it into my TV stand for me. She said that I had to beat this game. My favorite thing about Fievel Goes West was how easy it was. I had never played any games before, but as soon as it starts up, it was just like one giant cutscene. I couldn't even push any buttons. There were no menus or anything. I didn't have to save my game. It just played straight through until it got to the football section. This was my favorite level right here. I didn't realize it for a few years, but it was actually just the movie Fievel Goes West. I thought there was an NES in there, but it was actually just, my mom would just tape it to the thing so the cord wouldn't pull out, and she just turned on a movie, so I'd always be playing that. But my dad actually taped over my movie game and with a football game, so I could never actually beat it. But my mom didn't want me to come out of the room, so I would just have to sit there and still play. So it went from like Fievel Goes West to football, and then my team would always lose. And right here is where it would always end. I could never beat it because this is where the football game always started, and this is where I'd lose every time. I really looked up to Fievel a lot. I didn't have a lot of positive role models. There wasn't a lot of people for me to look up to. And, Fievel was always there, a strong character. So my mom realized how much I liked it. I really wanted to finish it still. So if any of you guys have that tape, Mike will give you the address to the studio if you could send it over so I could finally meet it.
Somewhere
Back to you, Mike.
All right, thanks, Dominic. Thank you very much for that. You have no idea how much that we appreciate you and all of your hard work and your kind heart around the studio. You're a wonderful person to have around. Thank you. Okay, guys, that's just about it for this week. But before we
I
go,
wanted to give a quick, in the nature of the show, today's episode, I wanted to just give a quick end cap here to our audience. If you or someone has ever been affected by addiction or alcoholism or abuse, that sort of thing, we're gonna put some notes in the show notes. I'll tweet them out if I have to. Just some helpful pages, some tips on how you can get help or help others get help. So just wanted to throw that in at the end there.
Okay, thanks, Brian. All right, guys, this has been Game Socket. We are just so happy that you're still along for this crazy, awesome, super journey. Game Socket signing out.